Well, thanks, Brett. Whether your house is big or small, you may be reducing its space just by the way you arrange its furniture, maybe even the paint on your walls. Well, maybe it's time to do some rearranging and replacing. Well, help is available. Here today to give us great tips on giving our rooms a makeover is Linda Green from Reinventing Spaces by Linda. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're an example of a kitchen, and this may look a little large on TV. You said it looked larger on TV, but this
really
is a
does.
really small space. This is probably a really good example of maximizing space using color, but you have some tips for all kinds of rooms in our house, right?
I do.
Okay, so let's talk about maybe furniture. How can we kind of trick the eye with furniture?
Move your furniture away from the walls. I see it all the time where people, it's almost like a bowling alley and the furniture is just, everything is lined up against the walls. And if you swing the furniture out into the room, it actually can make the room feel a little cozier.
Really? Because see, I would think you want to get it as far out from the center as possible. But
And
no.
also, if it's done properly and correctly, if you use a smaller amount of large pieces of furniture, you can actually make a room look bigger too.
Okay, very good tips. And then paint has a lot to do with it, right? The colors.
There's so much value in a gallon of paint. There's so much you can do with it. You can make a space feel brighter and airier with a lighter color. If you want to get a cozier feel, you could use a nice warm neutral. If you were looking to make the room look taller, if you perhaps have shorter ceilings, like a 7-foot, you could do vertical stripes. If you wanted to make the room look wider, you could use horizontal stripes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Now, would you do that on all of your walls or maybe some accent
You
walls?
could do an accent wall. I have seen it on all of the walls as well. Another trick for raising the ceiling in a small room is to actually hang your curtains up at the ceiling level.
Oh, so that'll give the illusion of sort of really long
and then just
lines.
let them kind of puddle down on the floor.
Okay, now I'm guessing lighting has a lot to do with it. We have great lighting in here because we're
Yes.
lit for television,
Yes.
right? But
Yes.
lighting in other rooms would be pretty
Yes,
key.
it evokes a feeling of spaciousness. And every room, besides the natural light that's coming in, needs to have at least 2 alternate sources of light, which would be task lighting and ambient for mood.
Okay, something that I think works great that I've used, and I love that this is a tip for you, mirrors.
I love mirrors.
Why is that so key?
They reflect the light in the room and they throw it around and it just bounces everywhere. And one of my most favorite things to do with the mirror is to get the taller 6-foot mirrors and prop them up on the floor, and then they just make the room feel so much bigger.
Let's just open it up at least
Really
to your
does.
eyes.
It really
you
does.
know?
You can make a window out of mirrors if you like in a
point.
basement if you wanted to.
Okay, now, as is the case in one specific room in my house, and I will not mention which room it is, clutter. It closes this room in. How can we deal with that?
You have to get rid of clutter.
Just get rid of
Clutter
it.
is, it'll just suck all the energy out of you and it just steals the space from you. So you definitely need to get rid of your clutter in your house.
Pretty simple tips, really. Let's recap them for everybody, though. The first was the furniture, right?
That's right. Move the furniture away from the wall. Choose your right color. Lighting evokes spaciousness and creates a bright and airy feel.
Sure.
Use mirrors to open up a space.
Love it.
And cut the clutter.
Oh, the clutter. Some folks out there really need to hear that, don't they? The
Yes, they do.
clutter.
Yes, they do.
Now, of course, good tips, but sometimes we can't do this on our own. So how do we get in contact with you to help us?
You can call me at 717-228-9851 or find me on my website, www.reinventingspacesbylinda.com.
Again, we're just reinventing the space you already have. Thank you so much, Linda. We love having you here with us.